Sound the alarm, everyone. Look, the market absolutely sucks right now. Today, while filming this, it's down again. And last month, the S&P was down almost 7%. You and I both know that everything is going up like crazy. We're not only feeling it at the pump, but the grocery store. I paid like 16 bucks a pound for my boar's head turkey. What the hell is going on? Interest rates are expected to rise, and as much as the crap is about to hit the fan, you follow me, and we're street smart. So I'm gonna walk you through the 5 things that I'm doing to protect myself in this kind of economy. Let's go. Okay, number 1, the first thing that I'm going to do is review my finances. Now, I don't do this all of the time. I like to do it sometimes just to keep myself honest and make sure I'm not overspending in different areas. So here's what I do. I will literally go to the last 2 months of my bank statements, my credit card statements, bank statements. I'll list everything out and I'll categorize it in my budget. I've got 8 different categories within that budget, which include living expenses, debt payoff, shopping, dining out, things like that. I'll go through and I'll categorize everything and I'll take the average numbers. Now you can also use an app like Copilot, Rocket Money, even some banks will have like spending analysis that you can do. But the point is to just do an audit of what's going on in your spending. This is going to enable you to get smart about your money, to see what's coming in, what's going out, and that will allow you to make some smart decisions with respect to how you're spending. Because if prices of everything are going up and the economy is not so great, you might want to rein it in a little bit and take things under control a little bit more. So I'm reviewing my finances just to see what's going on. This is just good money hygiene to do throughout the year, even more important now during uncertain times. Number 2, I am placing a greater emphasis on my oh crap fund, AKA my emergency fund. In January of this year, CNBC reported that 56% of Americans could not afford a $1,000 expense with money that they had saved up. This sucks. And I recognize there are a lot of people out there that don't have that extra $1,000. Things are really expensive right now. And if that's you, let's talk about some ways to actually get to that $1,000. Look, maybe you can't get there right away and it might take time, but whatever your goal is, if you want 6 months in your emergency fund, we're going to call it whatever we want. Just take that number and divide it by a reasonable time. So $1,000, if you wanted to get there in 12 months, it's about $83 a month. Can you put that to the side? Can you put that in a high interest savings account, which by the way, interest rates going up right now? Can you invest that money every single month in that account, treat it like it is gone, put it to the side, and over 6, 12, 18 months, whatever time period you set, you're gonna have that money aside. But especially in this kind of economy, I am prioritizing stacking some cash because we just don't know what's gonna happen. I mentioned before that interest rates are going up. The reason interest rates are going up is because inflation is too high. And the government basically is trying to lower the rate of inflation. But what happens when interest rates go up? Well, people don't borrow as much and the economy can slow down a little bit. If lowering rates encourages businesses and consumers to spend money, what happens when the rates go up? It's the opposite effect. So if the economy starts to slow down, what happens to businesses? Do people lose jobs? Yeah. What does it mean for your job or my job? I'm not sure. And when there's uncertainty, I like to make sure that I have at least a backstop or something that can help me in the event the SHIT hits the fan. The third thing I'm doing is I'm rethinking risk. Now, this plays directly into what I just talked about having an emergency fund. It doesn't mean on giving up on investing. It just means perhaps rethinking your strategy. So let's take Bitcoin, for example, which by the way, I love Bitcoin. I'm bullish on it long term, but right now, it's down in the dumps. In an article by Next Advisor, they reported, quote, Bitcoin hasn't been above $50,000 since December 25th, 2021. Despite the ups and downs, Bitcoin's price has seen a nearly 70% drop in value since its all-time high above 68,000 on November 10th. So Bitcoin is far from what it was, but if that's something that you still want to invest in, fine. But just consider how much of your money you're putting towards that every single month and what it can be taking away from. Are you putting money into those higher risk assets and not into an emergency fund? Do you have a backstop? All of this works holistically, and it's time for you to consider the amount of risk you are exposing your money to in order to make sure that you and your family are protected. And by the way, stocks are risky too. If you have a lot of debt, if you don't have a lot of extra money on the side, maybe it makes sense to pull back a little bit right now. And another thing that you can do, and this is tip number 4, is to invest in yourself. So I read an article with some very interesting statistics on side hustles. This is a way to invest in you. Let me read them to you. The US side hustle market is valued at over $2.58 trillion, and 83% of Americans will perform gig work by 2027. So massive amount of people are going to take advantage of side hustles. Why? Because they need more money, they want to pay off debt, they want to buy a car, they want to do something special, whatever it is, but people are looking for ways to make more money. This is not new, and this is only getting bigger. Bankrate did a study. They said Americans who dedicate an average of just 12 hours per week to their side hustle bring in enough to make over $13,000 per year. Are you someone that's struggling to make ends meet? Go drive Uber. Go do something on the side. These videos that I make, the videos that I post on Instagram, this month, I'll get about $200 to $250 in Instagram bonuses for my videos. Is that life-changing? No, not to me. Maybe to some people, but that's extra money that I didn't have that's coming into my bank account. Here's another study done by the Motley Fool. They did a survey of over 1,000 people. The average side hustle earns on average $686 per month. So if you are wondering, what can I be doing to increase my emergency fund? What can I do to maybe take advantage of investing in the market while the numbers and everything are so low right now? And you don't have enough money coming in via your job or your 9 to 5, whatever it is, look at a side hustle. Invest in yourself. So how can you do that? You can sell stuff. You can go online, you can buy things, you can sell them. You can sell services. If you have a specific expertise or something that you can sell, there are tons of people online looking for what you have. You just have to get it all out there. Look at what I'm doing and putting myself out there making videos about investing and finance. This is how you do it. And if you have questions about it, just leave a note in the comments and I will help you. The last thing that I'm doing to deal with this crazy world is I'm sticking to my plan. Here's a quote that I love from money.com. According to the Wells Fargo Investment Institute study, the average 12-month return after the end of a bear market is 43.4%. The problem, of course, is that no one knows when the bear market will come to an end. So maybe only the strong survive. Maybe you just have to grin and bear it and stick with it. But I say that the smart ones are the ones that make it through. And this is why I'm not changing my plan to invest monthly. I take advantage of the low lows. Like if I'm buying consistently, I'm buying at the lowest points of the market. I'm also buying at the highest points of the market. In the end, it averages itself out. And since my time horizon for my investments is 30 years, maybe more, I think I'll be okay. But look, I'm not blind to what's going on in the market. I'm not just gonna blindly put in my money and say, well, whatever, what happens, happens. I'm taking steps, as I've outlined in this video, to make sure that I'm prepared, but also diligent in recognizing that the future is still coming and I still want to prepare for it. Because if I didn't prepare for it right now, well, what would that ripple effect be all those years from now? So don't sleep on the tips in this video. And I have a favor to ask of you. If you found anything in this video to be helpful, we know that times are crazy and that the economy is just weird. So I want you to take this video and share it with a friend. Even if they have a slight interest in investing for their future, they're gonna also find this valuable. So do a good thing today, share this with a friend, go subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you right here again next week. Stay smart out there. I'm Ian Group. Thanks for watching. See ya.